In this video, I'll walk you through exactly how OpenAI's Agent Kit works. We'll start from the basics, understanding what each block does, how to connect your tools, and how to make your agents respond intelligently without writing a single line of code. Right now, many people are comparing OpenAI's Agent Kit with n8n. And if you're a part of that debate, then let me tell you, of course, n8n has a lot of apps that you can integrate right within the canvas. OpenAI's Agent Kit doesn't have that feature right now, but trust me on this one. OpenAI's team is moving faster than any other company in the AI industry. And there you are thinking that should I or should I not learn? Of course you should learn. I mean, if you're familiar with the basic automations, n8n automations, then it won't take a long time to learn. So by the end of this course, you will have an idea how OpenAI's Agent Kit works. So right now I'm at the dashboard of Agent Builder. You can just click the link in the description. There is one workflow. I have added some workflows to draft. There are some pre-built templates that you can use as well. So these are made by professionals, OpenAI's team. Let's open the customer service, and look, these are beautifully built. They have also added some notes that what this does, what this does, what this does. So if I click on jail guardrails, then we get to see some options, and please don't panic, I will tell you how these things work. So we have classification agent, identify the user intent. So this is an automation that the OpenAI team has made, and we can alter it to our own business or whatever niche we are working for. So I'll get back to the dashboard and just, so after clicking the new button, you will be seeing a blank canvas. You will only have a start. So basically we will have a start by default in every automation. So this is an automation that I made, and I will go through what each thing does. So let's start with what each node does. Okay, so starting with agent, you can just drag and drop it to the canvas. Let me delete this. Delete. So the first node we have is agent. So agent is basically the brain of entire workflow. If you think of agent kit like a small factory, this is the worker that actually thinks, decides, and does the entire job. If I click on agent, I will be seeing more options. Of course, you can name your agent. I have added some instructions. I will just remove these. So you can name your agent, let's say Ali buys agent. Okay, just to make it more organized. You can add some instruction, you can add it manually. You can ask chatgpt by clicking on this pen button and just type that I want it to be welcoming. Just hit create, and then ChatGPT will write the instructions for you. So these are some good instructions that it wrote. Example input, this is the instruction to be welcome. So you need to be specific with the instruction, the niche that you want. We have the include history, which is by default turned on. So what this means is basically the agent will remember what the user talked about earlier in the conversation. So this is turned on by default. Let it be on. It will be helpful for the automation. Then we have the model. The model by default is selected GPT-5. You might have something else, but if you click on GPT-5, you will see a list of models. So depending on the complexity of the tasks that you want the GPT to do, you can just go with GPT-5. This is of course the best model. It gives the best result, but the cost of this model will be higher than the other model. So you can also use O4 mini, O1. I mean, I didn't use most of these. I've used O4 mini just to cut down cost. So you can use 4O mini. Then we have tools. So of course you can click on the plus button and you will get a list of tools. So these are some technicals. I will not be discussing these, but some important tools are MCP server. So basically with the MCP server, you can connect some third-party applications with your agent kits automation. So OpenAI's team has already added some tools like Shopify, Zapier, Intercom, Stripe. These are some important tools that we need. Of course, if you can't find a tool like WordPress or something else, you can just add it by adding its API and all these stuff. Yep, so that's what MCP is. Then we have file search. So of course, you can upload files, you can add a set of instructions, or maybe if you're doing e-commerce, you can just upload a list of products. If you're doing e-commerce business, like there can be 200, 1,000 products, so that whenever a customer asks that this is a product, is it available, then the agent will find it from the files and it will say yes, this is available, this is what this product costs. So this is a very helpful feature. Okay, so then we have the website. So basically, if you want to give a response that is up to date, that will only be available on the web. For example, if the client or customer is asking about weather, of course you will not be uploading a PDF that this will be the weather at that time. That will not work. So that is why this feature is helpful. You can select country, region, city, and alter it according to whatever you want to showcase. So these are some of the tools that are useful that we will be using today. And the output formats, we have JSON and widget that we will be using in today's automation. So these were some of the basic things that we need to know in the agents node. So the next is end node. It does exactly what it sounds like it's where your workflow finishes. That's it. If you want to finish a workflow, let's say I'll just make a simple workflow right here. This is the workflow, then it will search a file. Okay, I'll connect this to this and I will just end this workflow. So it has just ended the workflow. This is the entire workflow. This is how you use the end node. Then we have the file search. Of course, this is the same thing that we have looked in the agent node in the tools. This is the file search. But if you click on this file search, you will see an option that enter vector store ID. So basically what this means is if you have already uploaded your files, then it will be stored in the storage. Just click on the create button, and I have already uploaded some files. It is available in the storage. So you can just copy this ID. Like if you cannot find it there, then just copy the ID and paste it over here, and there is your PDF. So this is another way that you can use this option. And so the next thing we have is guardrails. So think of guardrails as your AI's safety system. They make sure your agent doesn't say something or share anything that it shouldn't, like private details or maybe false information or any other harmful content. So if you're building something that people will interact with, like a chatbot or an online assistant, I would highly recommend all of you to use guardrails. So if you click on guardrails, you will be seeing these options. This was input as text. This is by default. You can rename it personally identifiable information. Personal identifiable information. When this is on, your agent automatically detects things like name, phone number, email, or maybe credit card details. You can decide whether to block, remove, or maybe mask these information before it moves forward in the workflow. So this node will be used in the starting of the automation so that it can filter out these things. Then we have the moderation. It basically filters out any content that might be harmful or inappropriate. So basically it prevents your AI from generating or engaging with harmful material. Then we have the jailbreak. This one's really important. It protects your agent from being manipulated. Maybe sometimes user might try to trick the AI to reveal private data or maybe bypassing its limit. So that's why it's called jailbreak. Jailbreak detects these kind of things and stop those kinds of attacks. Then we have hallucination. If you hover over these, you can see what each does. So hallucination basically checks the accuracy. So if your agent starts producing made up information, what we call hallucination in AI. Okay, hallucination, you might be aware of the term hallucination. So this setting helps detect and control that. It's especially useful when you're building assistants that rely on research bots or support tools. So this is also an important feature. Then we have continue on error. So this basically controls what happens if one of these checks fail. So if it's turned off, the workflow stops the moment something unsafe or invalid is detected. If it's turned on, then the workflow continues skipping over that issue instead of breaking completely. So if you turn it on, you will see that we now see pass and error. We can just add a node here and add a node here. So yep, now we have two options in this. So I hope this is clarified. So the next thing we have is the MCP server. So MCP server is basically, it allows your agent to talk to external tools or systems. For example, we have already seen the MCP inside the agent. If you click on the plus button with tools, you can see MCP server. We have already discussed that you can talk with these apps like Shopify just by adding the URL, maybe API. Some of these use API as well, box access token. So you can directly talk with these third-party apps. There are some that you can just click on them and integrate those. But if you want to add any other application, you can just click on server and use their API or token key. That's easy, it's not difficult at all. So the next node we have is if else. So this is basically logic controller of your workflow. It helps your workflow make decisions based on conditions, kind of like an if this happens, do this, if not, then go this path. Got it? So if you click on if else, you will be seeing this add button. Just click on add and there will be an option added. You can name it, let's say one, then we can add another. So this is how if else works. So if this is true, then go to this path. If one is true, then go to this path. If two is true, then go to this path. Like this, you can add multiple if else. So we will be discussing this later in the video. I will just delete these nodes, and the next node we have is the while node. So basically this block helps your automation repeat a set of actions until a certain condition is met. If I click on while, you can see an expression field, and here they have written input.fo. Of course this is an expression. Until this is equal to 5, you will be running again and again and again. Okay, so this is what the while loop does. So the next thing we have is user approval. So these are actual button that asks the user to approve or reject. As you can see that we have approve and reject, and for some reason you cannot change the text. If you click on this, you can just rename this title, but you cannot change the text of approve or reject. So these are two buttons that will show up when you will put them in the automation. So kind of if else node. If it is approve, it redirects to approve flow, and same with the reject. So you can add a node here like this, you can add a node here. Let me delete this. Yep. So the next node we have is the transform node. So this blocks basically takes input from one step and lets you change it before sending it forward. So I will explain this by sharing an example. Let's say the customer have data coming in and you only want to pass their email to the next step. You could use the transform block to pick the exact field instead of sending the whole data set. Like, it is basically filtering. Okay, so that's what transform node does. And if you click on transform node, you can see these. You can, of course, you can rename every node. There is expression, object, You can see the value added in the expression is input.foo plus 1. So you could use expressions to make these automations more automated. So the next node we have is the set state node. So basically it lets you create or update variables that can be used across entire automation. So I will explain this with an example. My name is Alex and I am looking for black running shoes. Okay, so we have two things, the Alex, black running shoes. So the first thing we wrote is Alex, his name is equal to Alex. So the name is the variable that we can use again and again in an automation. Then we have product interest. She has a product interest in black running shoes. So we have also added this. Now we can use this in our entire workflow just by using the name expression and product interest. So once this data is stored, we can use this anywhere in the workflow. For example, you can see this example. Hey, name, it will recall this name from the workflow and it will be altered to every individual. Hey, Alex, this is an expression. Hey, Alex, I found some great options for black running shoes. So because of this, we will have more to the point conversation and more personalized conversation. So these were all of the nodes. Now I will create a simple workflow in front of you so you have an idea of how we can connect these tools with each other, how we can integrate new things. I will head back to the dashboard and then click on this create button, and now we have a new canvas. So we have a start node by default, then we have the agent. So I want to make an automation for a number plate business. So basically the number plates are for cars, for bikes. Our workflow will first identify if the user wants car number plate or either it wants a bike number plate. So we have an agent. I will instruct it that identify if the user wants a car number plate or either he wants a bike number plate. So it will be easy one, it will not be a difficult one. And in the tools I will be using the file search to add a file of products that these are the products that we have for this category for this price, so that we have a more organized and to the point conversations. So I will just click on this expand prompt button and just select remove this and paste my instructions. So these are some instructions that I made from ChatGPT. You can do the same. So number plate, customer categories, and strategy to create an effective chat agent. So we will not be using this. This is just, so you can of course alter these according to whatever niche you're working with. Then we have the include history. This will be the same model. You can choose any model. Reasoning effort, of course, I don't want to spend a lot of API credit, so it will be set to low. Then we have tools. So in the tools I will upload a product list, but I will not do that here right now. Right now what I want this agent to do is differentiate between a bike customer and a car customer. That is what I wrote over here. Okay, so then I will bring the if else node here and we will be adding instruction. Right now we don't have any expressions to add over here. I will connect this with my agent and let's see if we have, yeah, we have output text and input as. So we cannot actually differentiate between bike and car right now. I will explain why. So I will just name it as bike and add another if else, then name it as car. So if you click on expression, you cannot I mean you cannot differentiate between bike and car. So for this reason we will go back to my agent and instead of text we will be using JSON. Add schema. Okay, I will explain what JSON does. So when you set your output format to text, your agent will always reply in the same way, just words with no structure or logic behind them. But when we use JSON, We're giving our agent ability to think in categories, to understand, organize, and act on specific conditions. So, for example, look at this workflow. We have one main agent that decides whether the user is talking about bike or car. If we were using text output, the response would just be a block of text. We couldn't separate or control it. But with JSON, the model can label its answers, and something like type is equal to car or type is equal to bike. So this small structure tag changes everything. Now we can differentiate between a car and a bike and send it to a bike expert agent or a car expert agent. So in short, using JSON gives our agent a brain for decision making. It doesn't just talk, it organizes and react based on context. That's how you can make your workflows personalized to every user. I will then click on add schema, and from here I will write um, customer query, and then select this add property and just name the property name to intent. What is the intent of the customer? Then from the type we will use not string, not number, not boolean, enometric. Trust me, you don't need to know why we're using this. Just stay calm, stay calm. So I will add a bike value and a car value, enter, and just hit update. So if we come back to the if else and click on this field, we will be seeing an intent string. Just click on it and then equal to, because we want this to be equal to the bike. If the user's intent is bike, then it will be redirected to the bike, and from here we will redirect it to the bikes agent. So just add semicolon, and inside the semicolon I will write bike. So this is the value that we have used in this JSON file. So I will just do the same over here, equal to, and then semicolon car. That's it. So what I did in this automation is, when someone will come and start chatting with the AI agent, it will differentiate between a car user and a bike user. If it is car, then it will redirect it to the car's agent. So I will add an agent. Let's add this. Okay, car agent, and then a bike agent. Okay, we could also, of course, we can add as many else's, as many as we want, but two is enough for today. So for the agent of bike, I will rename it bike expert agent, and I will write car expert agent. And then I will give it a set of instruction that you will only be talking about bike. You will not cross this limit. You will be guiding the customers about bike, telling it about products. So what I will do in this agent is I will upload a file of product so that the agent know that how many products we have and what which product cost. So I will go to the tools, and from the file search I will upload a file. So let me show you first that what the file looks like. So for some reason it doesn't take input as Google Sheets or Google Docs, so we need to create a PDF file for this. So these are some ID of product name, sale price, category, bike, car, and of course we have the link to the images. So I will just upload this file to the agent kit. Okay, so I have added a file and a set of instructions for both of them, and the output is set to text because we just want text. We don't want to differentiate or do any other automation in these. So I will just click on preview and it will open a tab where you can just chat with this agent. Okay, let's type, hi, I want car number plate. Main agent is active. It's thinking that what the user has asked for. Responding to user query, classifying user, balancing output formats, car, finding balance in the response. Okay, it has redirected me to the car expert. Okay, now it's asking me the car expert agent is asking, great car it is, what do you need? Standard, value plate, okay, custom look design, unsure, need guidance, reorder, replacement. So as you can see, you can create a very long automation with this. Like, it has asked me these four things. I will show you how I will be making a in-depth automation with this. So again, I will delete this agent and then just click on this agent. Again, instead of text, I will use JSON, add schema, and here you can add more properties like car intent, right? User car intention. No, let's write query. So I will select inometric and just write a description, distinction between car, and in the values I will be writing the values that the agent asked me, that do you want to reorder, do you want a stylish number plate, or do you want something else. So I will just see what it told me. Custom look, if I query, then in the type select inometric, and here I will type if the customer wants a stylish, then I will redirect him to the stylish agent, which will be altered to the customer's need. So stylish, so you can add as many values as you want. So I will just update this. Schema name must only contain letters, numbers. So I think this is the issue. Okay, and that was the issue. So again, I will bring this if else, and in the if else I will write stylish, and then again add the expression. It's not connected with this. Add this expression, and then just select the car query equal to, and then in the semicolon I will write stylish. Okay, then again I will add, and what was the second thing? Reorder custom. So this is how you can add multiple reorder and custom. So for each I will again have another agent. I will have an agent for stylish. If the user wants stylish, I will send him to the stylish agent, and etc, etc. So this is how you can create long automations, personalized automations according to whatever the customer wants. So this was it for this video. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe the channel to get latest AI updates, and I want you to play around with this tool. Ask ChatGPT to create a problem and try to create an automation to solve the problem. So that's how you will be learning more and more automations, and once you know how to use the basic principle, you can actually use any software for these automations. You can use n8n, make.com. So these all have the basic principles that you need to keep in mind. So this was it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.